Now, when we were walking outside that day after we had our town hall at ESPN, did you have any idea? Because you were with Bob Lee, and did you have any idea that I was doing SportsCenter that night?
No, and you never told me, as usual. Your witness protection program. No, I didn't know about it till I think the next morning. Like, they did what?
I was under orders that I wasn't allowed to tell anybody.
Well, I tell you what, you're coachable. It took 40 years. You're coachable.
Well, didn't you have a string where you did at least one SportsCenter?
I did. I was trying to catch DiMaggio, but I came up short. I did. I always, even long after I did them as a regular basis or even semi-regular, once we got baseball and you and Keith were in the 90s, I mean, I wasn't on every night like I was in the 80s, which was forever. But, I tried to come back in May and do one or two just to do it and try to pick a good weekend. The players' golf was usually one of the weekends, in May, and it was good. It was good to go do it. And then you've talked about it. How did you feel looking back at it now? I'm sure you're glad I think you're glad you did it, right? I think so.
I wasn't glad that I agreed to it, and then I'm glad that I did it, because you know how this is, Chris, that the older you get, the better you were. And, our legacy or legend or whatever you want to call it, we weren't that good. We were there at the right time, and we had something that, we made something interesting and different. But then to go back, and I just worry that people go, I don't get it. What's the big deal about these guys? That was what I was worried about. It was just, it was nice, though, to kind of put a period at the end of my SportsCenter career and go back, do one more show with Keith and have a little bit of fun. And, it's like you're back on primetime, with Tommy.
Well, I mean, not to get to me here on that yet, although sitting with Tommy is just, I'm beaming every Sunday night, is you were that good, you guys. You were every night, and people, I don't want to use the word counted on, because none of us are counted on, but if they're tuning in, give me some stuff, entertain me a little bit, tell me what's going on. I mean, you were counted on in that way. So, and look, and people don't get it. If I worried about quoting songs from my era, well, they might not get it. What am I going to quote now if you really want to go there? So, look, you brought smiles to a lot of people's faces, and you did it again. And maybe that's what we're doing with primetime, although that's a football vehicle on Sunday nights and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all day and all night on ESPN Plus, I still believe, and you probably do too, that even though you can, what happened in the Tampa-Atlanta game? Let me get it on my phone. Well, they're the 3 plays. I still feel that people want a meal every now and then. And in pro football, I believe that's true. And so for 45 minutes, we're providing a meal, if you will, the full meal of the day. And I don't think those times have come and gone. Do you, Dan?
No, I think what you're finding is there's a group of people in a large group that grew up with us, and they're probably in their 50s or 60s. But then there's also a younger generation that is kind of seeing or remembering or being told about, and then they reminisce. It feels like anything that's old becomes new again, if that makes sense. So, I mean, look, we were lucky because back then you tuned into SportsCenter because you didn't know the end result. You might have known the score, but you didn't see the highlights anywhere. So we had that audience that came into us, and we were coming off a Big East game or it'd be a football game or a baseball game on Sunday night, and we had that great luxury. But when you have that audience, this is what I tell students who are in my sportscasting school: if you get the audience, keep the audience. Like that you can get them. How long do you keep them? Really tells them and yourself how good you are at what you're doing. And we were able to keep those people for a prolonged period of time.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.